Welcome, everybody. Riley, welcome back to San Francisco State. You've been here before.
I have. This is my third time. Certainly more pleasant than the past few times. So very, very excited.
All right, you know how it works. You come up, you could disagree, front of the line. We're going to have a lot of fun today, and maybe eventually we'll make San Francisco red. That'll be a lot of fun, everybody, won't it? All right, let's get started, everybody.
Hello.
Yes.
I just want to start off by saying Scott Sullivan wanted to say hi. And also, my question is, how much more money do you think we should give to Israel?
At this point, probably very little. I mean, I think they have proper amount of funding. I think the more important operative question is, do you think that Israel is the good actor in the Middle East? And I believe they are, especially versus their radical Islamic neighbors. But I'm America first, and I think we've given a very generous amount of money to Israel right now, and they should be allowed to do as they see fit in the region to protect themselves.
Amen. That's right. Amen.
Well, to answer your question, I don't really think there's any good actors over there. I think both Hamas... Don't touch it? All right, my bad. I don't think both Israel or Hamas are doing themselves any favors. That's my opinion.
That's fine. Do you have any other thoughts about that?
No.
Okay, do you think that what happened to Israel on October 7th was evil and wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We agree.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Let's go, Charlie. You got this.
Thank you. Real quick, I just want to apologize. I'm not super familiar with who you are. I came to talk to him about religious stuff.
Totally good.
Do you want to just give me a quick overview of what your religious beliefs are, so I can still involve you in this conversation? Because I don't
Yeah,
want to just
absolutely.
be like, no, just nothing for you. So.
Absolutely. I'm a Christian who believes that Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins. So there is hope for an eternal life.
Where's the speaker that's coming out? I'm having a hard time hearing over the crowd. But can you just say the last half of that again?
Yes, absolutely. I said I'm a Christian who believes that Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins and hopes for eternal life.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then Charlie Kirk, I don't want to just explain your views, but from what I've got, I've seen a pretty good deal of you. You're, famous. I know that you do believe the generally speaking, the Bible is a good justification for morality, good guide for morality. You do believe Jesus Christ. You do believe that he was resurrected. You do believe that he died for our sins. Anything else you need that you feel is important before I get into this conversation to clarify?
No, but I imagine you're probably going to say something like, "Oh, does the Bible endorse slavery or something like that?"
That's actually exactly what I was talking about.
Because
you didn't guess anything. You had a lady asking me what my belief was.
Interestingly, so
But that's not actually what I was going to ask. But it is about slavery.
Let's focus on that. Does the Bible endorse slavery?
Objectively, yes, it does.
What verse?
So there is lots of verses in the Bible.
No, not correct. The Bible regulates slavery and ancient practice. What verse does the Bible ever endorse or morally support slavery? What the Bible did is it took a pragmatic approach to an ancient and primitive people and actually made it harder to own slaves. Secondly, your view of chattel slavery, which infected the West.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about chattel slavery.
Correct, and I want to make sure everyone makes sure that's morally clear. Okay. Chattel slavery is explicitly prohibited in the book of Exodus. Slavery in the Old Testament was largely sometimes voluntary, economic, or temporary. It was not lifelong or done on the basis of race or multi-generational. Finally, in the scriptures, I'm sure you know about the book of Philemon.
Yes.
Okay, what happens in the book of Philemon regarding slavery?
I believe his name, the mayor, or not mayor, because it's an olden city, but it's the leader of the village. I don't remember his name. It's like Acarius, I believe is his name.
Close, actually. That's actually very close. Yeah, it's Osiris or whatever. Paul writes to Philemon, encouraging him, in fact, commanding him as the authoritative Christian writer and basically the pseudo arbiter of how churches should form, saying, Philemon, you should take your slave not as a slave but as a free person, because basically slavery is now in the old compact and we're in the new compact. And finally, Jesus Christ comes to liberate us from our sins. We see this in Luke chapter 4. He says, bring liberty to the captives. And slavery is a practice that is ancient. It is a practice that is also very modern. We have more slaves today on the planet today than any other time in human history. In fact, we should instead not be asked the question of why is it that slavery existed? Instead, we should ask the question of who abolished slavery? And I would ask you that question by
I
what
know
text?
you're going to say religious people and Christians specifically, but it's a very hard point to make. I know a lot of people like to say that abolitionists used the Bible to justify
they
why
did.
slavery was wrong. That's not exactly what happened. If you want to be more accurate, abolitionists used the Bible to justify why slaves should be seen as humans, and then use secular beliefs for why no human should be treated
so
as a slave.
who was the first person to lead an abolition movement in the West?
The first individual person or the first movement?
Yeah, the first person to successfully abolish slavery.
To successfully abolish it or lead an abolition movement? I'm
Okay,
trying to
it's-
clarify
it's
here. I don't wanna
William
be specific.
Wilberforce. You know William Wilberforce.
I want
right?
to be specific. He's the first person to do what?
to
lead an abolitionist
successfully
movement?
abolish slavery as an abolitionist movement in the West,
Okay.
right?
Are you saying he abolished slavery in America?
Well, actually, no. He was from the UK. So
Okay.
I said the West, not America.
All
So,
right.
and he did so why? Because he was a pastor and a believer in the Word. Tell me about Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass said we must abolish slavery. Why? And who was Frederick Douglass?
Frederick Douglass is a Protestant Catholic, or was a Protestant Catholic.
It's a
Oh, did you want to say he was an atheist because you don't believe in his
no. But how
beliefs?
does-
Because
what-
if you actually read his
what-
job,
what
he
is
is
a Protestant Catholic exactly?
It's a group of Catholicism that
Okay,
takes
yeah.
from Protestant
So
beliefs.
okay, tell me more
They
about
are
that.
a real sect.
Okay.
Just because they're not very popular doesn't mean they don't
Well,
exist.
tell me about Frederick Douglass, though.
Like what his beliefs were? What do you
Anything.
want? I need more specific questions. You want me to just tell you
What-
about the guy?
Yeah.
Okay. So he was a religious leader and he condemned slavery.
Okay, none of that is true. Actually,
Yes, it is.
He was
He ran a church. You know that, right?
Frederick Douglass is a former slave. Okay.
After he was freed,
Yes.
opened a church.
Yes, okay, and you missed the whole former
black
slave
church, by the
part.
way.
And he was the #1 leading abolitionist voice who counseled Abraham Lincoln in person on multiple instances. And he said, and he made the clarion call, that slavery is inconsistent with the truths of the gospel. John Quincy Adams, Thaddeus Stevens, the greatest abolitionists of the West, they did not use Roman philosophy. They did not use Buddhism. They did not use Hinduism. They didn't use Shintoism. They didn't use Islam. They didn't use reason. They didn't use the things of the
Whoa, whoa,
Enlightenment.
whoa, whoa.
They
Whoa,
used
you
the
can't just throw
Bible.
reason
Hold
in
on
there.
1 second.
You can't just throw reason in
They
there.
used the Bible to abolish slavery. So you can come here and cherry pick
not
verses,
true.
but it's Christianity that got rid of the most horrific practice of slavery, and
Not
the world
true.
is a
Not
better
true.
place because of it.
So may I ask my question now? Because I didn't actually get to ask my question from the original point. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about was slavery in the Bible, and I can show you where it was justified. You did ask me, then you didn't actually give me the chance to answer the question. So first of all, I would like to say in the Old Testament in Exodus, it repeatedly says that slaves should obey their masters. It also gives you periods of how much you should charge for slaves, when you can take your slaves into, when
None
you
of
can take
that
people into
condones slavery as
who you-
morally acceptable. See, that you're conflating two things. Regulating an ancient practice that was primitive
Let me
and then
finish.
putting guardrails. No, because you're saying something incorrect.
Okay.
It never does the Bible ever condone the practice. Regulation is not the same as condoning. For example, we put regulations around drinking and alcohol, but we don't condone it as something that is necessarily good. So those are two separate moral things.
What about when God literally tells people while they're conquering foreign nations to take those people as slaves? Is that condoning slavery?
No, not at all.
What about when
because
the
again, you're
Bible
thinking of it as chattel slavery. These are temporary. Yes, these are. Instead, think of it as they worked for the Israelites.
without human rights and were owned as property?
Actually, they got human rights. Do you know
They
that
were
this is
owned
the-
as property, though, right?
No, they were not. They had
Yes, they were.
Time out. They got a Sabbath, right? They got a day off of the week. Right, they had human dignity and human respect. Slaves actually in the
that's a bit of
Israeli
a stretch.
in ancient Israel, slaves were even afforded some of the same rights as new people that were brought into the nation of Israel. Only the Bible was one that even cared about the humanity of slaves in the ancient world. Only
That's
the Bible.
super not true.
Okay,
That's
show me
super not
show me
true.
another document.
So-
Show me another text that does.
So the Bhagavad Gita repeatedly gives certain rights for your slaves. It does allow for slavery. Yes, most ancient texts did. However, the Bhagavad Gita is thousands of years predating the Christian Bible and also predating the Old Testament, and it repeatedly lays out specific laws for how you may treat your slaves, and like you said, regulates slavery. Although it, like the Bible, still condones it. Also, what I was going to point out, I still have more evidence of the Bible justifying slavery. If I can continue with that, or if you want to continue on this line of thinking, and I can go back to that.
No, again, I think we've covered this sufficiently. Is that it was communicating to an ancient people and
But
took
you're
a pragmatic.
overlooking when it was explicitly
No,
justified.
it was never. There is not a single verse.
That's what I'm giving you right
No,
now, though.
There is not. Again, there is not a singular verse or instance where the Bible condones it as morally acceptable or approving. And in fact, secondly, we as Christians don't just live by the old covenant, we live by the new covenant.
Yeah,
so
and I
we
wanna
look
talk to that as well.
So we look to neither slave nor Greek or Jew, you're all one in Christ Jesus. We look to the teaching of
Which
Philemon.
still clearly recognizes slavery as a practice, right?
Well, actually, again, Paul himself told the Philemon, reject the practice of slavery. It is the most anti-slavery verse in
What
the New
verse is that?
Testament. Philemon 1:16. You guys can actually check it right now. Philemon
Yeah.
1:16, where Paul is writing to, again, he's writing to Philemon about his slave, Onesiris, or the city manager, saying that take him not as a bond. Do you want to read it right now? Philemon 1:16. You can check my Bible trivia.
I'm looking for it right
He's got a
now.
Bible
I have
right
the
there.
Bible app. Oh, wait, you have a
Yeah.
Bible?
Go read Philemon 1:16 in front of everybody. Please. Yeah, Philemon's way later than that, man. Way later. There you go. Yep. Bible being read in San Francisco. That's a beautiful thing, everybody.
Fun little fact about me: when I was in high school, I spent 9 months reading this book cover to
Great.
cover.
Then-
It's an
then-
interesting book,
It's not. No, it's actually the Word of God. That's fine.
and it really does justify slavery.
okay,
That's
well,
the one
then
takeaway.
read, no, then read Philemon 1:16.
I'm still looking for it. Give me time. Yeah, it was earlier than I thought it was. I knew it was earlier.
If you want to look in your phone, you can too on the Bible app. I don't care, but
Okay. Searching Bible verses is quicker. We can agree on that, right?
fine. I want to complete the point. It's very important because we cannot allow the Word of God to be blasphemed publicly, and then we'll get to the next question.
Philemon's 1:16, you said?
Philemon 1:16.
After this, will I get to read a Bible verse as well?
I think we have sufficient time, but please finish the point.
1:16, 16.
Do you want to read it, Riley? You found it quicker.
Yep.
That's fair.
No longer as a slave, but
Nope,
better than a slave.
wrong.
As a dear brother, he is
Wrong.
very dear to me.
You are wrong.
Are we not
so
reading
it's
English?
the later do so out of love, knowing that I am put here for the defense of gospel.
Well, hold on,
That
it
is
says-
what it actually says.
I'll read what I have on my phone right here.
What Bible are you
NIV
reading?
version. No longer as a slave, but better than
They
a
do
slave,
that.
as a dear brother. He is very dear to me, but even dearer to you, both as a fellow
Boom.
man and as a brother in the
Not
Lord.
as a slave, but a brother in the Lord. That
Okay.
statement of human equality led to the abolition of slavery in the world. Philemon 1:16. So there is no such justification. Final thought.
What about when Mark and Lucas both recount in their Gospels that Jesus himself said to slaves to respect their masters earthly slaves, respect your masters as if you would respect the Lord himself.
Yes, again, so that is the word eved, right, which could be used as many things. You know that Paul also calls us a slave to Christ?
Yes.
Are we a literal chattel bond to Christ, or is it a metaphorical
Are
teaching?
you thinking he was talking
See,
about metaphorical slaves
It
at that
could
point,
be,
or he
because
was
at
talking
times,
to-
well, we don't know,
But
because
he was talking to a group of slaves.
hold on.
of
Second,
literal slaves.
First of all, Jesus talked in parables all the time and in metaphors. Is Jesus actually a door? Is he actually a vine?
No,
is he
but
actually
this
a shepherd?
verse is clearly literal. He's talking to a literal
So-
group of literal slaves, and he tells those
Yes.
literal slaves to respect their earthly master.
But that can be extrapolated as a moral teaching to respect your teachers, to respect your elders, and that is the context of which the teaching that Jesus Christ was talking about
But
there.
my
And the
point
final
is-
point, again, I think we've sufficiently
no, because you keep
covered
missing
this.
my point. My point is
No, I think
that
I've
the Bible
internalized it.
recognizes the practice of slavery, and at no
And-
point takes the time
No,
to condemn
not
it.
cor-
And
I
because
I just gave you a verse
and
that
because
condemned it.
the Bible does not condemn slavery, it should not
Well,
be used as moral
One sec.
justification.
It's fine. But
Should not be used as moral
hold on.
justification.
I would just ask you a very
structure.
simple moral question. Will you recognize that it's Christianity that led to the end of slavery?
That is false. Christianity,
then we have nothing to
Christianity is a
discuss.
constantly moving target that likes to shape its beliefs around the world,
See-
around what the world already
Well,
sees as good and beneficial.
not
If you
necess-
look
hold
throughout
on.
history, the beliefs of Christianity are rapidly changing.
Actually, so really, today, I will say though, and I'll prove you wrong on the next question.
Look into history.
Has the Nicene Creed changed?
What's the Nicene Creed? Say it. No, Charlie, what's the Nicene Creed?
The Nicene Creed is the belief that we believe in one body and one resurrection. We believe in a virgin birth. We believe in the communion of saints. We believe in the resurrection of the body. It is the Nicene Creed that was established in the Council of Nicaea.
And
Also-
how is that relevant to the morality
well,
of the
no,
Bible
it's
and it
very
changing
relevant
over time?
because that was established in 300 AD, and you're saying it's constantly
But it's
changing.
not an establishment of morality,
Yeah,
though.
yes, it-
I said the
again,
morality of the Bible is constantly changing.
The morality of the Bible has never changed. You yourself.
So wait,
are
do you
trying-
think it's
Allow me
okay to
finish
have
without
slaves?
interrupting? No, and the Bible doesn't either, as exhibited by
but
Paul
you said
writing to
earlier
Philemon.
No, but you said in the Old Testament it was allowed and permitted
was
and
not,
regulated.
It was not condoned. Instead, the Bible
but it was
took,
allowed, permitted, and regulated, which is what I said,
again,
right? Respond to what I'm saying, Charlie.
Yes, because the Bible took a very pragmatic and mature
it's no
approach.
longer allowed,
No,
permitted, and
again,
regulated.
Because of Christians. The Bible took a very...
Let
me finish without interrupting me.
Is there morality
Let
now?
me finish without interrupting me. Let me finish without interrupting me, and then we will close this. It's because the Bible was communicating to a primitive people where slavery was widespread, unchallenged, unquestioned, and embedded into those practices.
Yes.
It took a pragmatic approach that led to the abolition of slavery, and for that you should say, praise God and thank the Lord for Christianity. Okay. Thank you very much. We got to get to the next question.
You said I could have my one afterwards.
Thank you. Next question.
Okay.
And I hope you accept Jesus in your heart as your Lord and Savior. Next question.
How's it going? First of all, I just want to say thank you, and I'm going to make a complete pivot from religion at all. So let's all calm down a little bit. But first of all, I want to begin with a yes or no question. Is that cool? Okay. Do you think that we see more divisiveness in our country today than we have in modern American history? Let's say within the last 30 years. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then I will then begin what I have written down, so that way I can get my point across clearly. Is that okay? Okay. What I personally believe is the future for this country is for us to be able to reunite, in a sense. It's my opinion that since the start of Trump's first term in 2016, we have seen an unquestionable increase in hate crimes and political violence. January 6th, we can talk about that one. What is your opinion on the divisiveness? What is your opinion on the divisiveness perpetuated by the Trump administration, if you think there is any at all?
Do you have any issue the fact that the first time Riley came to campus here, she had to be barricaded for multiple hours because left-wing students tried to physically attack her?
Okay.
Is that divisive?
I mean, even last night at Portland State University, there was a group of Antifa members, whether it was students, community members, people who were bussed in. We don't know. About 5 people ended up being arrested for ultimately trying to physically...
That's
put
great.
themselves
So I don't consider myself a liberal. I think
that's fine, but no, but you have to be morally correct. You're going after the Trump thing.
Right.
When Riley was
I'm going
barricaded,
after the current sitting president.
Right. When Riley was barricaded on this campus, were they wearing MAGA hats?
Okay. So again, I just heard of your name today. I don't even know. I didn't even know who.
Yeah. No, but I mean, just the point though is that it's the left that's dividing this country. We're bringing this country together. Okay. This is very simple.
Okay, that's fine. Can I ask you a follow-up question then? Can you cite any quote of any sitting Democratic president between the last 3? We can count Kamala because she was a candidate, but Obama, Biden, or Kamala saying anything. Oh, actually, we will discount Biden saying that Trump supporters are trash. But any other time saying that they're the enemy within, which Trump has used, the enemy, evil.
They call them Nazis every other week.
Absolutely.
Okay, again, a president.
Yes,
not
Joe
liberals.
Biden gave a speech in November of 2022, right before the midterms, in front of Independence Hall.
I would love to see a quote.
Yes, saying that, quote, there is a rise of white supremacy and fascism that must be stomped out of the country. I'm paraphrasing. Okay. But again, literally calling half the country fascists and coming after us. That's exactly what he did.
What about the right side, though?
In fact, he said ultra MAGA is a threat to the country.
MAGA, keyword MAGA. I think there's a difference between MAGA and Republicans.
He said that everyone wearing here a red hat is a threat to the homeland. Joe Biden declared... They are?
The amount of times
that guy right there. Hold on. Look them in the eye. These people are threats to the homeland?
Okay, that's fine.
Who here wants a hat? Are all these people... No, I want you to look at your fellow American citizens wanting this hat.
That's great.
Are these people a threat to the country? Is that what you're saying? These people are a threat to the country?
I think the ideology that they perpetuate is... I think there's a lot. You yourself have said we have seen an increase in hate crimes and political violence.
No, we have not. No, I did not. I said we're more divided. We have not seen an increase of hate crimes. We've seen.
Why do you think we're more divided, Charlie?
Oh, I think we're more divided because we finally exposed the left for what they are, and the left is the one dividing this country.
Okay, so you no part of you at all can reflect on what you just said as a divisive.
We are not. Well, let me prove it to you. Let me prove it to you in real time.
Can I finish though?
Are there open mics for conservatives to speak at San Francisco State?
There's conservatives everywhere, dude. There's 2 parties. That's another thing about this country.
Not in San Francisco.
There's liberals and conservatives, Republicans and Democrats.
Is it easy for conservatives to speak out at the school?
Not at all, and that's not okay. That's what I'm saying. I came up to the mic with this sense of let's reunite as a country.
I agree. The way we reunite is by defeating the left.
Okay, again, you're cutting me off. By defeating the left. I have never said let's defeat the right. I think that the ideology that MAGA pushes is it's bad. It's cancerous.
What ideology specifically?
Just hating the left. Oh, the enemy within. The president that you guys support that's sitting in the Oval Office right now has said over and over again that Democrats are the enemy within.
They are.
Okay, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're what's wrong with this country, Charlie Kirk. Thank you.
No, actually, let me prove to you. You know how we heal a country? We heal the country by allowing people to express their opinions without canceling, censorship, smear, or slander.
MAGA is what's wrong, not Republicans. MAGA.
Okay.
Thank you.
He just said.
MAGA is the solution.
I never said MAGA should be defeated.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I'll say this: the American
left. 2028, cross our fingers. MAGA won't be a thing. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah. Hey, they it's so funny. They said that. They said that after January 6th, and now MAGA is more popular than ever. This is San Francisco,
That's not
dude.
True. That's not true. Trump.
This is San Francisco. This is
This
not.
is 0.00001% of San Francisco. Congrats.
Okay, but I think it's noteworthy though that on a college campus in the middle of a day, we're able to draw nearly
None of these
1,000
people go here. I can guarantee you. A lot of these people are community.
They're all students. What are you talking about?
Oh, hi guys.
And I said San Francisco. They live in the area or in the city. And so you can live in this kind of cycle of denial. This hat is a beautiful symbol. You know what this hat means?
Sure.
It's a symbol of American revival, of prosperity, of hope, of optimism, of
That's
a
great.
better future.
And I would much rather use that language than calling the left the enemy. Because ultimately, Charlie, do we
You
need
just
to come
said you
together?
hope MAGA's not a thing in 4 years.
I know,
3
exactly.
It's not gonna be.
Oh, okay. We'll play back this tape in 4 years and we'll see, because I've been told for the last decade, MAGA's dying, MAGA's going
unless
away.
Trump wants to do the unconstitutional thing of run for a third term, right?
He already said he's not doing that on Sunday.
No,
and
he has floated
again,
the idea
he said
many
on,
times.
he literally just said on Meet the Press. He was joking and trolling. And
Right,
I will
okay.
say again, you can hope all you want that
about
MAGA,
third
all
term
MAGA
project?
is a group of people from different backgrounds, different skin colors, different religions that love America and they want to see it great again. That's all that MAGA is. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
What if getting the medicine you need didn't have to be so hard? No waiting weeks to see a doctor, no fighting with insurance. That's why I want to tell you about All Family Pharmacy. They believe in medical freedom, and they're changing the way people get the medications they trust. Just go online and pick up what you need. Things like ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, NAD+, methylene blue, antibiotics, and more than 200 other medications. A licensed doctor reviews your orders, writes the prescription, and your medicine shows up at your door in a few days. You do not need insurance. You don't need to beg a doctor. Just simple, fast, honest care. Check them out and get 10% off your order today. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Kirk and use promo code Kirk10 to get 10% off.
Hey, Charlie. Hello. Hey, Charlie. I've been a fan for a long time, a California conservative for about 11 years. Well, my question is nothing new. Closer to the mic. My question is nothing new. You call yourself an America First conservative.
Is it about Israel?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. It's about Israel. I'm so shocked. I've only answered
well-
this question 50 times in the last week. What am I going to say?
Well, I think.
If you know my response, why are we talking is
No,
my
it's
answer.
a new question.
Okay,
so
good. All right. I'm being somewhat sarcastic.
I get it. Well, I appreciate you being here, but context required for an appropriate answer to my question. It has to do with Turning Point USA's biggest contributor, Bernard Marcus, who
Not our biggest.
40 million. That's
Not
quite a
40.
bit.
Actually, that's not true. It was about 2.5 million over. It was 5 years, 2.5 million. He hasn't given us money in 3 years. In fact, he passed away. So it's not true. What is your question?
The question is,
It's just not true. So your facts are wrong. So yeah.
wow.
And you can even check the grant.
Tyler Boyer, your COO, he said that the TPUSA mission statement, you cannot be here if you are against Israel. Is that America First?
Well, what he's saying is that you can't be here if you're against the values of Western civilization. That's correct.
What is Western to him?
I'm sorry?
What is Western to him?
Well, Israel embraces Western civilizational values. Just you take the hands out of your pocket.
yeah,
Sorry,
fair enough,
you
yeah.
never know what people have.
Sorry, yeah.
Israel embraces Western values far better than its neighbors. Well, again, it doesn't matter where they are. They just have Western values. Again,
The problem is TPUSA has a lot of resources to its name, and if you cannot promote American values, America First values, without being pro-Israel, then what's the point of even having TPUSA and America First message?
No, I said, again, it's a better way to frame it as Western values than saying pro-Israel. If you're not pro-West, of course I won't employ you.
The values don't always align with Israel, though.
I understand. Yeah, and we as America don't always live up to our own Western values, right?
Right, but
So
we
that's the
shouldn't
point.
fund Israel's outside of America. We shouldn't fund it, or at least we should withhold money if they are against our values. And
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's where we might disagree, but sure.
But do you think it should be unconditional or conditional?
It should 100% be conditional.
Conditional. Okay, fair enough.
Cool. Thank you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Hi. Okay, I'm just here to talk about abortion, but my first question was, why should women who are raped have to give birth to that baby?
Yeah, I think it's as simple as, do you believe life matters or not?
I mean, is it because it has a heartbeat when it is conceived?
Well,
Exactly.
right. So what is the question you're asking?
I'm saying that
My question to you is, do you believe that life matters?
I do believe life matters after the person is born. Or the
Oh,
child.
after the person's born. So, okay, so
Here we go.
if Riley were to be pregnant, or if any woman were to be pregnant right now, and there's a baby that's 20 weeks developed, is that baby alive?
No.
No.
I mean, not physically. Is it? I mean, it's.
Wait,
can
so it has a
breathe on its
heartbeat,
own?
it can hear the mom's voice, it has consciousness, has its own fingerprint, its own DNA, it can empty its own bladder. What about it is not alive?
The fact if it doesn't have a heartbeat.
At 20
It does
weeks,
have a heartbeat
it does.
at 20
So
weeks.
heartbeat start at 6 weeks, right? So I'm talking about a 20-week baby, 20-week-year-old baby. How is that not alive?
I mean, I guess we see it different ways, but I mean, in how I see it, you have to cut an umbilical cord to get that child out, and I feel like if that child is still attached to the mother, if the mother has to eat to feed the baby, if the child is still living on the baby inside of the mother, it should not, it isn't alive.
Well, a mother has to feed a baby months and months and months and months after the baby is already, on this planet.
But the mother is feeding the baby. This baby, when it's inside, are they feeding?
So what about someone on a feeding tube? If you don't feed them through their feeding tube, are they not worthy of life?
How old's that person? Are they born? Have they been born yet?
But why does the moral
I mean,
worth of a human being matter whether they're born or not?
Probably. Well, the point that I was trying to get out with it. The point that I was trying to get out with it is that women shouldn't have to be forced to give birth to that child if they don't want to. That's the point I was just trying to get out there.
Okay, let's say I have 2 ultrasounds here. One of the
Are you gonna show
baby,
the dolphin fetus again?
one of them is a baby conceived in rape.
Okay.
The other one is a baby conceived in a loving relationship. Which one is which?
I mean, it's up to them. The thing
No,
is
but
that
which one is which? I can't tell the difference. Help me out.
I'm not saying that there's a difference between those two
Exactly, so they
children.
both deserve human rights.
No, I'm saying that if a mother doesn't want to give birth to her child, she shouldn't have to.
Okay, so should you be able to commit murder of a newborn if you don't want the baby anymore?
No, you would.
Why?
you
Well, then what's
wouldn't-
the difference?
You wouldn't have the child if you didn't want it. That's the point of abortion.
Well, hold on.
I will.
I hope you never have an abortion, actually. Abortion's really
Well,
bad.
it's my body, my choice. That's the thing.
Well, hold on. If it's your body, your choice, and I'll let Riley chime
So
in.
is it your choice because you're a man and you get to make those
Well,
decisions for
hold
me?
on. Time out. You
Yeah.
want to say that to Riley? Riley's a woman, too. So say the
but-
same statement to her.
I'm
Say the
not
same
saying-
statement to her.
But I'm.
No, your
okay.
logic must be equally applicable to all sexes. Say that same statement
I'm
to her.
saying that she can.
Say
have,
the same statement to her.
I'm not saying that statement to you. I'm saying that you as a man.
just said it to me.
No, I'm saying you as a man should not have. You should have the rights to choose whether I can get an
Okay,
abortion or not.
does she have the rights to choose
yes,
for you?
she does have the right. She doesn't have no one has the right to choose for me.
Okay,
but
so it's not a
me.
man thing. That's what I'm saying.
It is a man because Trump is in charge and he is the one. He said that he is the reason that Roe v. Wade is overturned. He said
Praise
that.
the Lord, Roe versus Wade is overturned.
In what way? It also kills other women and
You
children.
know we have more babies being born in Texas than ever before since the abolition of abortion. Isn't that a good thing?
And that's why we have such a high population. That's why we have
No, we
12 million
don't.
people in
We're
our.
declining.
Yes, we do.
We have a declining population. We
Yeah.
have a population collapse. What are you talking about? The world is on the verge of a population extinction event. We don't have enough babies. We're below replacement levels in the West.
So you want to make women have
Not
babies?
make. Okay, let's go through fundamental biology. How do people get pregnant?
I know how a woman gets pregnant.
So if you decide to have sex, you might win a certain prize.
Well, what if you don't decide?
I'm sorry, what?
What if you do not decide to have sex and you get raped?
Again, it's still a human life. You don't get to kill a baby just because a human life occurs. Something evil, rape, does not get better when another evil action occurs. And I will say this, somebody in this audience was conceived in rape. Can you tell me who?
It doesn't matter who. That's the thing.
That's the thing, is they're all human.
I'm not saying that they're not a human life. I'm saying the mother should have the
Okay.
choice whether she
Got
wants
it.
to
No,
give
but
birth to that
you
human
said
life.
they're not a human life, so they are a human life. Therefore, an extermination of human life is called what?
Murder?
So yes, abortion is murder, even in the case of rape, and that's a hard thing to
embryo,
internalize.
though.
It doesn't matter. So,
You're
but
saying it's a child, but it's not.
what
physically a
species
child.
is it?
It is a human, but
Okay.
but is it a? Has the child
So,
formed yet?
but hold on, you're not fully
child yet?
formed. Riley's not fully formed. I'm not fully formed. We actually go through this process of development our entire life. An embryo is just one stage upon human development. It doesn't mean you get less rights just because you're earlier in the human development scale.
I mean, I feel like I do have more rights than a baby that is in someone's
Why does
stomach.
your age give you more rights over an embryo? Why do you have the ability to eliminate a smaller human? Why is that
It's
morally
not that
consistent?
I'm not saying that it's better because it is a smaller human. I'm saying that oh my god. I'm saying that women themselves should have the choice to get.
Baby has no choice.
Yeah, that's
Thank
why
you.
I should have the choice.
Riley, do you want to take this as a woman?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a flawed logic to insinuate that if you have a heartbeat, these certain qualifications, that is what determines human rights. The moment you're conceived, you are a human, right? We all just agreed that the species is a Homo sapien. You are a human at that point. That's when human rights begin. So I think it's ironic that the other side, who touts human rights, who claims to fight for human rights, they don't believe those belong to children. And as a woman, I believe every single life is worthy. Every life matters.
Okay, well. Well, I mean, there are so many women out there who do get pregnant, and because of laws that there are in place that they cannot have an abortion, and they have to give birth to that baby. Many women that are pregnant, I'm not saying all of them, I'm saying some of them are drug addicts, some of them just physically can't financially keep a child. What is the solution?
Adoption.
But the thing is that, do you know how many kids are actually adopted from adoption agencies?
Do you know how many women struggle with infertility who would love to adopt a baby?
Exactly. 25% of these kids get adopted before they are 18. And the kids that do not get adopted are let go from the adoption agency, and they do not know what they're doing. Not that they don't know what they're doing.
There certainly could be reforms within the foster care community and within the adoption system, but there are plenty of families of women who are hoping to be able to adopt because they can't conceive on their own.
But 25%? Only 25%.
Then there should be a reform
It's not
within
for a lack
the
of willingness,
adoption.
though.
What are you going to do about
There's
it?
not
If
a
you want to say that we cannot have an abortion, but many children are not finding homes until they're 18, and a lot of these kids, once they're let go from adoption agencies, become homeless, become drug addicts, because you say that we cannot have abortion, but you are not doing anything to make
Hold
it
on,
right.
but first of all, number
Yeah,
one.
neither are you.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I'm 16.
Okay. So again, the essence of this, again, and we'll wrap this up. There's twice as many people on the adoption waiting list than there are actually being adopted. Twice as many. So the adoption waiting list is very long. You just have to make it easier to adopt.
Adoption reform.
Well, then that'd mean that only 50% of these kids would be adopted, and there are still 50% of these children which are.
I think she missed.
I think you missed the point.
statistic.
That's okay. Thank you for your time. We'll get to the next question.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome to the Bay. It's actually really refreshing to have you here.
Thank you.
Charlie, congrats on
Thank
TPUSA. I mean, it was unbelievable what you pulled off in 2024. And Riley, thank you for everything you're doing as well. This question is for Charlie. As an American Jew, I recognize the strong support the Conservative Party, and particularly the Trump administration, has shown for Israel and the Jewish community over the years. However, I've grown increasingly concerned about the rise in anti-Semitic rhetoric from some right-wing voices, and their messages appear to be resonating with parts of the Conservative Party. Do you think people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Andrew Tate are using rhetoric that is anti-Semitic? And is the Trump administration doing enough to distance itself from this kind of rhetoric? Or are these figures being labeled as anti-Semitic by their peers?
Yeah, those are all friends of mine. Actually, I've never met Andrew Tate, but I've never met Andrew Tate. No, but Tucker and Candace are friends of mine, so I would not use those words against them. We have Candace and I have big disagreements on Israel for sure.
Yeah.
I'm very careful to use the anti-Semitic term unless it's very warranted. I think we should not throw it around too loosely. It's very similar to racism, right? Where it dilutes the meaning of it. Of course, there's real anti-Semitism out there. We know it when we see it, and it's gross and it's awful. For example, when, at that bar in Philadelphia where they say F the Jews, right? Yeah. That is obviously anti-Semitism. Here's what I think is the problem. The problem, there's a lot of reasons why this is growing, but it's growing faster than it should because some pro-Israel voices want to try to use cancellation and censorship of anti-Israel voices, which I actually think creates even more anti-Semitism. There's people here today that don't like Israel. You're welcome up to the mic. We'll talk about it. I'm not going to try to take your free speech rights away. And I think all these bills that are trying to restrict speech, that are trying to, silence people, I think it's a big problem. I think that we need more pro-Israel advocates to do events like this, let everything be heard, and have a real discussion about it.
That's amazing. Thank you. And really quickly for Riley, if that's all right, really fast. I think it's amazing what the federal government has been able to do in terms of their federal capability to keep men out of women's sports. What can we do on a more communal level where summer camps and teams and dance classes or whatever, they're not being regulated by the federal government, yet, girls are still not feeling safe. What's your advice to people, especially in communities like San Francisco?
Yeah, really important. These executive orders that have been signed, understand they really don't mean a whole lot in terms of longevity. These executive orders, they don't absolve states from doing what they need to do, and they certainly don't absolve Congress from passing legislation through both chambers and getting onto the president's desk to sign into law much more permanently. I love how you mention from a local level. What I have seen over the past few years is what is happening locally matters far more than what is happening at the federal level. So get involved in any way that you can. What we know works, number one, is public pressure. We know the public is on our side on this issue. The media says it's an 80-20 issue, men and women's sports. I would argue it's higher than that. I would say at least 90-10, 90% of people agreeing it's wrong to put men and women's sports, prisons, bathrooms, spaces, whatever it is. So public pressure works. Anytime you see this happening, showing up at these school board meetings and they shut out conservative voices, or not even conservative voices, excuse me, those who oppose, who even dare to question, again, the narrative that is being pushed forward that you are being forced to participate in, film it, get it to one of us, we'll post it. Oftentimes, that's what libs of TikTok, truthfully. And Charlie, that's what they do so well is they just hold a mirror to what the other side is doing. And what we see oftentimes is resignations. People are fired from their jobs because public pressure and public opinion works, and it's in our favor on this issue.
Amazing. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you so
Seriously.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me see if I can throw a hat back to one of these guys here.
Charlie, Riley.
Let me try one more. That's the San Francisco wind. Yes, sir.
First of all, I want to thank the both of you for coming here. I have a lot of admiration for the fact that you go across these campuses, you have these conversations, you get young people involved in politics. I am a left-wing advocate myself, but again, I admire what you do. I appreciate what you do, so thank you. Today, I have brought a thesis. I've got 5 claims. I've got a follow-up question for each of them. I would love.
I don't have that much time, so pick your best 2.
Best 2. All right, no worries. So my first one is that I believe in having a federal government having more legislative and economic power than the states. If someone is born in an economic and political situation where they cannot choose what state to live in, that is the illusion of choice. So to compare to another country like ours, as far as population size and physical size, is Brazil, right? But their politics are much different in a sense of their federal government has a lot more power over their state government. According to the Ministry of Ports and Airports in Brazil, airfare within the country was able to decrease by 11.8%, which is about $113 USD. in October 2023 and from October of 2023.
You got to go faster, man. We got 1,000 people here. What's your best argument? And then let's have at it.
Well, I guess that was the argument. Did you have like a response
We disagree.
to that?
We want more economic freedom, not less economic freedom. So the whole premise we think is wrong. We think the best way to help people is through a small but strong government, protection of private property rights, entrepreneurship, free markets, etc.
I believe in that. I just also believe in having an economy based more off of local businesses, but giving the federal government
Okay,
the
let's play
ability
this
to fund
out.
those.
Do you think California's economy has been doing well for middle-class people?
No.
California has the largest state government by far per capita of any state in the country. So why would you want to grow the government federally if the big government here in California has given you the highest cost of living, the most homelessness, the greatest wealth gap, and the most people leaving?
I think the reason why they have the most homelessness is just because they're willing to help homeless more than like a Republican state would, where they want to put them in jail for the fact that they're homeless. And it's also just a nicer climate. Would you rather be homeless here or homeless in Chicago? I've been in Chicago. I lived in Waukesha, Wisconsin. No, it's hard. It's really hard seeing the homeless people there during the wintertime when they're all swollen up and everything.
Okay, I have a lot of objections to the homeless. Do you want to talk to something?
Well, just the other claims as well. Again, poverty, crime. It was more than just homeless that Charlie stated. These big state governments, big governments in general, some of the repercussions that people face from that.
For sure. I wasn't able to keep up with all of it, so I just wanted to go off of one example.
Here's a good way to answer it. What state works best in America?
I'm not sure about America. I think I could pull up a different...
I mean, again, what state do you think is a good example?
Oh, Minnesota. Minnesota, I believe, is the best representation of a liberal state.
Will you move there?
I was born there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, Minnesota's a disaster, but sure. Yeah.
I know the people there can be a disaster, but I believe that the government there
I mean, again, I don't want to debate Minnesota here in San Francisco, but thank you for your time. We got to get to the next question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm going to try and keep this right on point so you guys can get going. My name's Dennis. I'm here with San Francisco State's speech and debate crew, our forensics crew here on SF State. And I'm hoping to engage you guys, both of you. It's very nice to meet you both in a fair, honest debate on pursuing truth. The points I'm going to hit today are going to be your podcast that you just made about us, about SF State, as well as some of your points on religion and immigration. And I like to believe that you're hopefully here in good conscience trying to debate people fairly.
You got to go faster, man. What is it?
I'm doing it. You called our campus an island of totalitarianism. You said you should see what these people believe, what they think, that SF State is much like Stalingrad or Leningrad, a Maoist-type concentration camp. Now, look, I think they could have done a little better job with the architecture and all. But also, a campus that's totalitarian, as you said, this is literal. You said on your podcast this, you did. You said this, I'm talking to both of you. You said this on your you said this.
Okay, I said island of totalitarianism, but I agree with everything she said. So,
anyways, on your podcast, you said this, and I don't think an island of totalitarianism would be hosting this event for you to come debate people fairly, no?
Last time I was here, they didn't.
They only did because we threatened to sue them.
Yeah.
That's why we're here today. You know that. Do you know she was literally locked in a room for hours because a bunch of zealots were threatening her life? And they canceled the event in a classroom, and the university did nothing to punish the people responsible, and instead sent out an email apologizing that her presence came on campus. What do you think about that?
I think that if people should do protest peacefully, try and debate with logic and facts like we're trying to do now, and that.
So you would condemn what happened 2 years ago to me on this campus?
I think violence is condemnable without logic and debate, but I'd like to bring up that I don't think sometimes you guys are here fairly when you come to debate people. I watched a debate that you had with Texas A&M where you brought up...
Come up. Come up. Come up. Come up. Come up. Come on. Come on up. Right here. This mic is for you. Come on up. Walk her up.
Look, I'll say very briefly
Come up to the mic.
you. You said you had every intention of approaching this conversation of truth.
Absolutely.
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, you're not. Come on up.
That's a complex issue that I don't feel...
It's not complex. It's not a complex issue.
Okay, I'm not going to answer that because you guys asked me to be on...
You're interested in the truth. If you cannot say if men can or cannot get pregnant, you're clearly not interested in the truth.
I am. I don't want to give you an untruthful answer, so I'm going to continue to my next
I will
topic.
give you the answer. The only answer. It's no, men cannot get pregnant.
Okay, I will accept that as your answer. Now, I want to show to the crowd this photo. Anyone wants to look at that? Charlie Kirk showed at a debate at Texas A&M as proof that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, yes, he has it right there, is a criminal with very photoshopped, very... No, look at that.
It's called labeling. Do you know what a label is?
No, Trump
when you drink a water bottle, is that photoshopped when it labels something and describes it?
It was
There's a
photoshopped
difference between
as
labeling.
That
Hold on. These tattoos are not photoshopped. They're
not
labeled. Do you know the difference between a labeling and a Photoshop?
I understand. Please don't be condescending to me. I have a photo of both.
Hold on a second,
right
Mr. Debate Champion. If it's correct,
sir, I'm trying to engage you in a respectful debate. Please reciprocate.
Let me finish my thought. If it's true that there is nothing wrong with the tattoos on his hands, why did his girlfriend blur it out in all the images she posted?
I cannot speak to what his girlfriend has or hasn't done.
Because
all I can show is right here. He doesn't have MS-13 tattoos.
Literally right here.
Has that been proven? Is that factual?
Yes, it is.
Trump has used this labeling to try and prove that he's a part of...
Next question. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm part... Religion. Will you let me debate you on religion?
No, we got a long line. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Yes, what is on your mind?
Oh, Charlie, here we are. Oh, ho, Riley. Hi, everybody.
Talk right in the mic.
You know, I've been hearing a lot of what you guys been saying and coming from your ivory tower, talking about how you can look down on whole entire populations of people and say, oh, these people, they're not worth this. All these people, they're not worth that. Who the are you? Who the gave you that agency?
Well,
I know it wasn't Jesus Christ.
I'm Charlie Kirk, and this is Riley Gaines.
You're the
and
guy
nice
from,
to meet you.
I thought you were the guy from fucking South Park. I thought you were the Terrence and Phillip. That's who the fuck I thought you were.
Well, you seem pleasant. Are you married? Are you married?
Was your mom married?
Are you married?
Because I got a call from the doctor. She missed her abortion.
You seem so sweet. Does anyone love you in your life?
Charlie, you seem so stiff and white. Do you have a stick up your ass?
Is there something wrong with being white?
Charlie, is there something wrong with a stick in your ass is what I'm asking.
No,
white.
I'm enjoying this whole thing you got going on.
Hey, Charlie, I'm enjoying this whole parade, this whole charade of American. I am enjoying all this bullshit. I love you, Charlie. You're the best comedian. You're the best comedian on.
Do you want a hat?
You're the best one.
She wants a hat. Can you wear it?
USA, 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 USA. Charlie, I love you. I love you. And you know what I think? I think you really want a big black your ass. For real. Real talk. And I know you're going to dox me. I know you're going to do your best. I know you're going to do what you're going to do. And you're going to find out who the I am. And it's going to be fun.
Is that a threat?
No, when you dox me.
Are you threatening me?
When you dox me. When you dox me.
You mean when I put you on the internet?
Yeah, no one is.
Which will happen.
And all your clowns dox me. Guess what you're going to find out?
What am I going to find?
You'll see.
What does that mean?
You'll see when you dox me.
Are you threatening me?
When you let me help you. I know you're a Republican, so let me make this clear. When you figure out, when you investigate who the I am, what you're going to find out is who the I am.
So what does that mean?
And Riley, why are you so afraid of playing next to trans when you look just like a trans woman? Why? All the makeup, all the eyelashes. Oh, what's wrong? You look like a You look like a trans woman.
Are you using that as it's meant to be offensive?
It's not offensive because I feel like these people are you. They're your people, and you're acting like you don't know. That's what I feel like.
Got it.
You got such a problem. You got such a problem with trans people.
Yeah. This is what
Charlie,
they do.
They think I care about kids. You don't care about being called a Nazi. I don't give a about being called racist.
Enjoy the video once it's posted online. Thank you very much.
Being racist is not the worst thing. This is my message to you, MAGA. Really, I think you guys need to know this. And I'm going to help you with a critical bit of information. Just going to help you out. Listen, being racist is not the worst thing in the world, you know? Except who the f you are. You don't like a trans person? Yeah, I said it. It's on rap songs, like they say, right? The rappers sing it. Why can't I say it, right? Come on, now that's your sentiment, isn't it? Come on.
What is a woman?
I like this conversation. I've seen you do this online.
So then what is a woman?
A woman is a wombed man. A man with a womb. Ah, you didn't know I had that one for you. Is that tripping you up?
Can a woman have a prostate?
No.
Okay, so we agree. So we actually agree on the trans issue, amazingly.
It's not necessarily an issue. It's just they are people that are deciding to live in an intersex phase. It's not an issue.
What words are you saying?
Intersex, you know what that means?
I know what
Use your scientific brain. There's a root word, right? And there's another.
Yeah, an intersex person that's born with like XXY chromosomes has nothing to do with the trans topic. Nothing at all.
I mean, they are designated. I know this is controversial, but I'm not here to please everybody. There's two basic sex, and that's man and woman. And then there's people that choose to go to the next level and live intersex in a way. They're doing that in a way to express themselves.
Did you have a question to debate?
No, I just wanted to tell you guys, I know who you are. I see who the you are.
Yes, and we are American patriots.
You guys.
We appreciate your support.
I see you. You guys suck Trump's.
Thank you for your time.
And Elon Musk's.
Thank you.
Right. You don't want to say. What about Signalgate? You want to talk about that?
Thank you for your time.
Can't talk about Signalgate.
Oh, we can talk about it. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
And they wonder why they lost, resoundingly.
All right, everyone, calm down. Why don't you say that to her face? Come on up, say that. Come on up to the mic. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Come say that. Come say that. Come on, don't be a little coward. Come say that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Come on.
Let the speaker speak.
So wait, what did you say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You look like a man.
Oh, really?
I'm happily married. Been married 3 years this month.
Okay.
My husband is actually here.
Okay, that's perfect. You just look like a man. You wanted me to say it in front of her face. I did. You look like a clown.
We could ask. You know what? I'm
Wow,
not even going to.
You got to go the other way.
I bet we could ask.
Can you say that? I can't hear what you're saying.
I bet we could ask.
Let's bring the purple hair jihadi up. Come on up. Let's go. I can't hear you. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on.
I can't
Let's go.
hear you.
Come on. Let's go. They're more interesting. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Wait, I just have one question for you. No. Why does your face look like that?
I'm sorry.
Why does your face look like that?
Are you're the one saying that to me?
Yeah. And what about it?
What is a woman?
Dude, you're ugly as shit. You get no and you look like that. Like, why does your face look like that? And the woman that was up here before, she was right when she said your mom missed her abortion date because. And you look trans too. I just had to say that. Yeah.
They have no. Anyone else? Anyone else want to say something? No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
They have no idea what they're doing when they come up to the mic like this. And the libs know, they're like, you're only going to make Charlie bigger by coming up to the mic. The smart libs know that, right? The more libs are like, why do they do this? Go ahead.
Hi, how are you? By the way, Riley, I think you look beautiful, so I'm sorry for everyone on you. But, okay, I have a question. So I know that like the border has been like secured for cartel activity. Do you think there's any other ways you could like keep America safe from the cartel? Like, are there any other ways?
Thank you for like a real question. What's your name?
Julieta. I'm a huge
Julieta.
fan, by the way.
That's a beautiful question. Give it up for that. It's actually. We have to entertain potential strategic bombing of cartel drug sites. I know that's an act of war. I think we're actually at war against the cartels. I don't relish in that. I don't like saying that. But there are 10 to 12 meth facilities that are killing Americans every day that are being made in the Sinaloa drug cartel region. We got to be really careful the way we do it. And then finally, we need to go after all of the American banks that are doing business with the cartels. And there's a lot of them that are.
Yeah, because I see on the Hispanic news about how there's all this cartel problems going on, and that has genuinely made me scared of going to Mexico, because when I go, I have to dress down. I can't wear makeup. And even here, it's like, I feel like we are so privileged, then every time I go to Mexico and see my family, that a lot of people are just so, I don't know, they just hate America for whatever reason.
We need to do a much better job of understanding the cartels run the Mexican government.
Definitely.
The Mexican people are being held hostage by the cartels, and by destroying the cartels, it would improve Mexico dramatically.
I agree. I would love to see that happen. Also, may I get a signed hat
Yes,
from you?
Thank you for being so polite. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, here we go.
I would love to work in politics. If you have any job opportunities, I will. Thank you.
Yes.
Is this good?
One of the smart lives.
Hi, so my name's Robert Matas, and I kind of want to not make this like a screaming match. I first off do want to say that although I don't believe in a lot of the stuff that you say, I do want to give you your flowers for giving us, people who do disagree, the chance to come and talk about it.
Thank you for saying that.
And to, like, even for me, like someone who wants to get into politics, I have a chance now to challenge my beliefs and my stuff with someone who's, like, talked to Newsom and everything. So my main thing I want to talk about is the fact that, so you have said that you're a constitutionalist, right? Like, you feel like you are a strong believer in the Constitution?
Correct.
Yeah. So my question is, or I guess my belief is that now, with the modern day presidency, you cannot be a constitutionalist and still support Trump.
Okay, why? And then I have a follow-up question.
So my first thing is, one, Trump openly defying the Supreme Court, and supporting that is him saying on an interview just the other day, he does not know if it's his job to uphold the Constitution, which in fact is one of the main jobs of the presidency. Which I feel like, am I wrong? Can you combat that?
I don't believe that's what he said, but let's talk.
You can look at the interview. That's literally what he said. He has lawyers to decide whether he has to uphold the Constitution.
No, of course.
When the DOJ is not his attorneys.
Well, no, the DOJ actually 100% is.
They are the U.S. government attorneys.
No, but
they do not protect Donald J. Trump.
Stop interrupting me. First of all, what branch is the Department of Justice in?
I'm not. Okay, sorry, I don't have that written down here. I'm just.
Dude, come on. I mean.
But can you?
It's in the
It's
in the executive branch. So the
can
DOJ.
You respond to my claim though?
Yes, without you interrupt. I let you talk uninterrupted.
You're true.
The DOJ works for President Trump completely and totally. They are in the executive branch. The Attorney General is wholly adherent to the President of the United States. Secondly, tell me about Article 2.
Well, they are also there to keep Trump in check.
No, they're not. No, that's where you're wrong, dude. That's the third branch. That's what. No, see, this is where you're totally miseducated. The DOJ works for President Trump. Literally, the Attorney General of the United States works for the President of the United States. The Supreme Court, or the third branch, is a separate branch. The DOJ is not a separate branch. It's not.
I'm not saying the DOJ is a separate branch, but I'm saying the DOJ should. I'm saying that they are not meant to serve Trump.
Yes, they are.
If Trump does something wrong.
No, that's wrong. That's not correct. You see, you have a wrong, and you have to tell me, what article does the Attorney General fall under? 1, 2, or 3?
I don't know
Article 2, which is the President of the United States. All power vested in Article 2 is vested in the President. That's right there in Article 2. Now, as far as define the Supreme Court, he hasn't defied it, but even if he did, Joe Biden...
he's trying to challenge it, though.
Challenging's not defying, dude. That's appealing to the Supreme Court. Joe Biden literally defied a final decision on the Supreme Court when it came to student loans.
But it didn't go through. It stopped.
No. Joe Biden kept on actually defying
Yeah,
it.
because he kept trying to rework it to where it would be legal.
Again, but the point, he
stopped.
He materially defied it. That's beside the point.
He kept
but
trying
Trump
until
is
the
not,
Supreme Court
Trump is
found
not
out,
currently defying the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court said he needs to facilitate the return for Abrego Garcia. And I don't advocate for the man. I just advocate
The Supreme Court has not said they have to do that. They haven't. You're wrong. What the Supreme Court said is that the Trump administration made an error and they have to write a request to El Salvador,
But you're
which they did.
ignoring the part where they said he has to facilitate the return.
And he has. El Salvador has denied it.
He said he
doesn't control.
want to ask for
He doesn't control El Salvador.
Okay. I want to appreciate too. Thank you for helping me with the stuff that I am wrong about. So that I appreciate as well.
Last point. Then we have a long line.
Okay. I also want to say too. I've heard you make points about how the Fifth Amendment only applies to U.S. citizens.
In certain cases, yes.
Do you believe that the 14th Amendment as well only applies to U.S. citizens?
Again, in a limited scope, yes. Because, again, the Supreme Court agrees. Again, there's expedited removal.
But what about...
The Supreme Court has said there's no due process rights for any... you're interrupting me, man.
Okay.
The Supreme Court has said that there is no due process rights for illegal aliens that have come within 100 miles of the southern border or 2 weeks of entry. That's a 2019 decision based on expedited removal. So actually, and according to many other Supreme Court decisions, an illegal alien within 2 years here in the United States gets no due process rights.
Okay, but what about... So also, this is something I want to point out, too. You call a lot of the immigrants that are in the country, ones that cross over the border, illegal immigrants.
They're all criminals, yes.
When most of them, especially... And I want to ask you what you think about the ones who were arrested or were detained while trying to go through the legal processes. The ones who came in, actually... And it is a loophole. I'll admit that Joe Biden allowed for a loophole to get into the system, right, through...
Open borders?
No, through asylum. So asylum was a loophole, but it still was a legal way to enter the country. And what about the illegal immigrants who were detained while going to their meetings to make sure they stayed within the legal processes?
They're still in violation of 8 U.S.C. 1312.
If they came in using...
What is 8 U.S.C. 1312? You don't know. That's fine. It's fraudulently filling out an asylum claim, of which these people are.
But that's what the courts are
Again,
for.
there's 8 U.S.C. 1305, which is illegally crossing the southern border, which can be enforced also upon the second entrance going on.
And
then there's 8 U.S.C. 13.
Into the border...
Again, man, I know. I don't mean to make you look bad.
Okay.
You just don't know enough about this stuff. I encourage you to look at 8 U.S.C. 1305, 8 U.S.C. 1312, how the criminal code actually comes in particular here. The Supreme Court has given President Trump full authority to deport these illegals without same due process as people here in America.
But what about the Supreme Court decisions which one is it?
Yes, so I know what you're talking about.
Which one? Which Supreme Court?
I don't know the name, but it basically says that's for illegal aliens. Yes, those are for illegal aliens that commit crimes while they are here. So that's if it's an illegal...
This Supreme Court decision recognized due process rights for non-citizens in deportation hearings.
Yes, correct.
Deportation
hearings. Again, the Supreme Court has clarified that in 2019 that not every single illegal here within the last 2 years gets a deportation hearing. They've clarified it, and people are conveniently ignoring it in the media. Thank you for your time.
Can you tell me then where I can find that they clarified it?
Type into ChatGPT.
Not ChatGPT, from the Supreme Court.
Well, again, it will lead you to the source. Say, find me the Supreme Court case, because I don't know the name of it. 2019-2018 decision around expedited removal within 100 miles of the border and 2 years of being in the country. The Supreme Court clarified they do not need the same due process rights.
So you're also saying, though, that these other Supreme Court cases that reaffirmed that due process rights does apply to non-citizens, naturalized or...
Again, what the Supreme Court said is they had a distinction. They said that if an illegal alien is here and, for example, commits a DUI, they get due process on that infraction. They don't get due process necessarily on just the fact they came into the southern border illegally. So there's about crimes you commit on the interior of the country different than ones that you commit while you come into the country.
But what about the people who have not committed crimes?
It doesn't matter. Coming in the country, coming into the country is a crime. It doesn't matter.
For longer than 2 years.
The Supreme Court will hopefully.
It's a civil offense.
It's not. Again, it's an 18 U.S.C.
I'm pretty sure it's 13. It's
8 U.S.C. 1312, it makes it a felony to harbor yourself illegally in the United States of America and not notify the government of your presence. You can look it up anytime you want. 8 U.S.C. 1312, any illegal alien that does not tell the government where they are, what they're doing, and why they are here is in violation and is currently committing a felony. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
I want to thank you.
Well, can I say one last
No,
thing?
we got to get to the next question. Thank you.
Everyone look up Wicklow v. Hopkins, Wong Wing v. U.S., and Yamata v. Fisher.
Thank you.
Hey guys, how are you doing today? So I've just got one quick question for you, Charlie. So a clip has surfaced and gone viral of you saying there are gray and murky areas when it comes to a woman consenting, as well as it's unfair to define it as sexual assault if a woman gets rid of the consent, takes the consent away, and the guy keeps going. I just want to ask you, like, what the was that? Because obviously, no is no, and that's the end of it. I would even go as far.
I agree. So, but you agree. So, of course, but you didn't watch the whole clip, obviously, because you're a typical Gen Zer that just looks at 15 seconds.
I saw the full
finish.
clip that was there.
No, you didn't. They did not post the full thing. But
go ahead, move the goalpost.
Let me show you, and I'll prove to you the gray area. The law says that if you are intoxicated, consent cannot be given. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, hold on. If someone's intoxicated and consent cannot be given, then if a woman who's intoxicated having sex, then definitionally she's being raped, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so every woman and every man who's had sex while intoxicated is a rapist?
Not necessarily.
No, that's the gray area. Do you see where I say gray area?
I understand what you're saying, but this is also really complicated because
exactly, it's complicated. That was my point.
Okay, but can I finish what I was saying? So you think that if the woman removes consent, right, and the man keeps going, you think that it's unfair? Because this isn't about them being drunk.
He should not do it. Stop
this
means
isn't
stop.
About,
the point was all about intoxication.
This isn't about them being drunk. Just let me finish. I'm almost done.
It is.
This isn't about them being drunk. This is about her removing consent, changing her answer to no, and him continuing to go. How is that not sexual assault, Charlie?
Yes, it is. That's not at all what I was saying.
You said it wasn't.
Okay,
you said it's an unfair categorization.
You are lying to this audience. Okay, man, again, let me ask you this hypothetical again, of which it's lost on your memory, okay? Very simple. If a woman is drunk and the man is both drunk to the point of intoxication at 2 a.m., they're both drunk.
That's not the question. Don't give me a red herring right now.
That's what I did in the video,
You're
man.
You're strawmanning my argument. Listen to what I asked you. Answer the question, Charlie. Answer my question.
Yes, it is sexual assault, but let me ask you a different question. Is an unwanted kiss sexual assault?
Yeah, absolutely. An unwanted kiss is sexual assault.
Okay, so two people are sitting on a bench, and a man goes in to kiss a girl and she doesn't want it. Did he just sexually assault her?
No, because he didn't fully complete the kiss and she backed away. However,
that's an unwanted kiss,
if
man.
if he completes the kiss, it is sexual assault. Yes.
And by the way, this point right here is why men are so afraid to date women and why men are staying away, because they're like, I'll be called a sexual assaulter if I go in for an unwanted
that's just
kiss.
a coping excuse for guys who can't get girls.
Well,
it is. Guys can't get girls and they complain about girls withdrawing consent because they cannot get any women to look their way.
Honestly, I think it's so dangerous and wrong to say that an unwanted kiss is sexual assault.
It is sexual assault. How can you sit here and tell me that if a man kisses a woman and she doesn't want it and he goes through with that kiss, that it's not sexual assault?
Let me ask you. Hold on. Let me be clear. If they're on a date, does a man need to ask permission before he kisses somebody?
Listen.
No, I want you to think about how insane that is. So it's a first date, and they're sitting on a bench.
There are signals, Charlie. Have you ever been around a woman?
Well, okay. Yeah, I'm married with 2 kids.
Oh, yeah,
are you married?
I've got a girlfriend here, and I love her very much.
Are you married?
Michelle, wherever you're at.
You're married?
Yeah. No, I've got a girlfriend. I'm going to be married soon.
Okay, so again, but the entire topic was about intoxication. Once somebody is intoxicated, the law says consent cannot be given.
Right.
So let me just be clear. Every girl at a college campus that has sex while they're intoxicated, are they raped?
That's not my question.
That is the point that I made.
Answer my question, Charlie.
I said, yeah, I already answered your question. That if a man continues on sexual activity with a woman past consent, he is committing sexual assault.
That wasn't your answer before. You changed
Yes, it
your
was.
answer. You said it's an unfair categorization. You said those words on camera.
Do you know what the unfair categorization was?
What?
Around an unwanted kiss of 2 people on a bench. I stand by that statement. That, again, everybody in this audience agrees.
You were talking about frat and sorority hooking up at 2 a.m.
Yes,
I remember
again.
the conversation.
Oh my gosh,
I watched it over and over.
That is about intoxication. It was a 20-minute conversation. You saw 3 minutes of it. I'm not going to waste everybody's time
here. The clip was all in a row, though.
Again, because you
cut parts of it?
You didn't see the entire thing, okay?
I don't need to. I know who you are because of who you voted for. You voted for a man who is sexually liable.
Here we go.
I know who you are. You
know who I am. Oh, hold on. Donald Trump has never sexually assaulted or raped anybody.
You're full of
from the pit of hell.
You're full of.
Oh, really? When did he do it? What year?
I don't know.
She didn't either in court. She didn't even remember the year. Who made the claim?
That is so harmful to say that because she. That is so harmful to say that because she doesn't remember the year that it doesn't.
Hold on.
Means she's wrong?
Eugene Carroll said rape is sexy. Was Donald Trump ever convicted of being a rapist?
That's not about.
Was Donald Trump ever convicted of being a rapist?
He was held civilly liable.
Civilly, not criminally. Why?
It doesn't matter. If he's held liable for something, he did
the
it.
threshold of civil and criminals, two completely different
So
things.
you want to say they're guilty when it's immigrants, but not when it's Trump?
Hold on.
You think there should be harder standards for someone to get into the country than become president?
Illegal immigrants are felons.
I don't care. That's not my question.
You just brought that up.
I'm saying that you think it should be harder for someone to get into the country than to become a president.
Yeah, again, it should be very hard.
You do?
Wait, hold on. I did not say that. What are you talking about?
You said yes.
Hold on. First of all, how dare you say it was easy for Trump to be president? He faced 700 years in federal prison and got shot on his way to the presidency. How dare you say that it's easy for him to be president?
Here. You just keep bringing up things that have nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Things you don't like because they're facts you don't like. Let me repeat. Stop means stop. Facts. Intoxication is a gray area. An unwanted kiss of two teenagers on a park bench and a young man goes in does not make him a sexual assaulter. That is my final statement. Thank you very much.
None of this changes the fact. I'll go after
Thank
this.
you.
I'll go after this. None of this changes that you said that it was an unfair categorization. MAGA, all of you who support Trump, this is what you're voting for. A man who was held civilly
Do you guys like what I said?
Of sexual.
Go away.
These people are cheering for sexual assault.
I literally said stop means stop. When there's intoxication, there is a gray area. And if a teenage boy goes in for an unwanted kiss with a young girl, that does not make him a sexual assaulter for the rest of his life. Can we agree on those three things? My goodness.
And are we forgetting that just this past week in California, there was a bill making it illegal for 16 and 17-year-olds to be, actually legal to be, for 16 and 17-year-olds to be sold into sex slavery and child trafficking. This is what State Senator Scott Wiener tweeted. Sending an 18-year-old high school senior to state prison for offering his 17-year-old classmate $20 to fool around isn't smart criminal justice policy. Yet that's what some people are effectively advocating in this misleading debate.
And Riley, let's just go a step further. That almost all the Democrats are going to vote for this thing.
They did.
It's like, and is Gavin Newsom going to sign it? We'll see. Or is he too busy hosting a podcast?
That's right.
All right. Yes.
Hi, Riley, and hi, Charlie. Riley, sorry, I'm not very knowledgeable on what you know, but I'm here to have a pretty civil conversation. So, Charlie, I know that some of your views differ from those in Trump, such as those on abortion. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I was just wondering what you think on some of his more radical and in my opinion kind of illogical ideas, like the Alcatraz being reopened, which is a national park, and tariffs on movies, which is kind of impossible because movies are a service. I just wanted to know what your opinion was.
Well, first of all, it's the production of movies, so it's where you produce it. I totally support that. I think we should have more movies made in America, and I'm glad we're reopening Alcatraz. We should put the worst of the worst in Alcatraz.
I see, but more on the movie point, if these tariffs were the case, movies like Star Wars and popular movies that we consider American.
They're produced here.
But they were shot in...
Doesn't matter. That's not, again, production and shooting are two different things.
Okay.
Right? So you could shoot in Scotland. The production of it is a completely different thing. It's a very technical term.
I see. It's just when he said this, he didn't make it clear what exactly...
That's a fair point.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to ask. I wanted to know what your opinion was on that.
Do you have any thoughts on that, Riley?
Swam Alcatraz not that long ago, and I escaped. So...
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you think I could sign?
Yeah, sure.
It was so cold. It was so cold.
Thank you for being cool. Yeah.
That's great.
Hey guys. Thank you for being here. Riley, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Looking beautiful as always.
Aw, thank you.
So, let's get into it. I'm a conservative. I served in the United States Marine Corps as an infantryman. I was proud to vote for Trump in 2016. I'm sorry, you already heard all this. It's more for Charlie. voted for Trump in 2016, voted for him in 2020, but in 2024, I couldn't vote for him because I felt it would go against my convictions. I saw a shape of things to come in regards to free speech, and fast forward to today, we have students being, without prosecution, without due process, getting deported. And I find it a little strange how college universities like this one all across the country have spread anti-white rhetoric for, the past 5 decades. And no funding was cut to these universities.
That's a good point. I agree with you.
Yeah, so...
Now, the due process is not true. Those students do get due process. They get detained, though. That's two different things.
They get detained, but they...
Like, for example, Mahmoud Khalil or whatever did get due process. He got in front of a judge, so that's not true.
He was
well, it doesn't matter. He's still a green card. So we could talk about this when he gets up here, but he is a visitor here in America. It's on a conditional basis. Yes, and the rights he got were to be in front of a judge. If you behave a certain way, we're allowed to get rid of you. I actually think that the Trump administration scaling it back is smart. Deporting somebody who wrote an op-ed critical of Israel, that person should not be deported. The people who should be deported, this is actually where I think they're looking at it a little bit incompletely. If they're critical of America, they should be deported. Like that. So I think that if there is an op-ed of a green card holder criticizing America, I think that's actually a much better case than that of a foreign country. That's my own opinion.
I respect that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, so I happen to be pro-Israel, but also I'm pro-America first and foremost. That if you're critical of America, that should be the number one condition for deportation. Do you have a thought on this, Riley?
Yeah. Again, my husband is here on a green card, and he basically describes it as an invitation into this country, an invitation that can be rescinded, and that's what we've seen.
Thank you. And if I have still a little bit more
Very
time.
quick, yeah,
Okay.
because we have a limited time.
What's your view on how our administration is threatening to cut the funding to these universities, and how they haven't done the same when they've spread anti-white hate?
For the record, they are threatening to pull Harvard's funding for many reasons. The strongest of which they're not emphasizing, is define the Supreme Court decision on admissions, which was denying Asian and white students based on race. And accommodating those others. That should be the number one priority. The priority should be, are they violating the Supreme Court decision on affirmative action and racial issues?
Appreciate it. And really quick, one last thing. You mentioned controversial figures like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Are you willing to debate these figures, including more controversial conservatives like Nick J. Fuentes?
I won't debate a troll, but I do talk to Candace and Tucker about a lot of stuff. Okay. So. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm much shorter than all the other people.
Okay, yes.
Hi. For my boyfriend in the crowd, it's Dahlia. My phone died if you're looking for me. I wanted to ask a simple question about capitalism, but I actually changed my mind. I wanted to ask something more that's closer to my heart, and it's about the issue with drugs. I have this disorder called DPDR, and it's a dissociative depersonalization disorder. And it was caused by my mother at a very young age, and instead of letting me go on medications, she had me smoke weed for my anxiety and depression. And I have to face the consequences of that every single year. Both my parents came from Mexico. They're here legally. She watches you, so I'm already like, oh, I'm cooked. But I watch you all the time. I watch you, Caitlin, Brett Cooper, all of them. I'm a big fan. But I wanted to ask about what do you think about the regulations of weed?
I have a very unpopular view.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a fan of marijuana at all. So people can boo me all the time.
I think it's from person to person. It can help people. It can help people with the
Maybe.
CBD, and the CBD has helped a lot
But
of people.
CBD
with
is non-THC
Well, yeah, of
so
course.
I agree completely. CBD,
Yeah.
I can
It
see
helps
the
with
point.
people with pain, and a lot of cancer patients actually are helped with that. But I did have a similar question from the other girl. Is the way that we're going about getting the immigrants back to Mexico, is it the best way that we're going about it? Because I did see something online that a lot of the ICE camps, you only see the men, and we aren't really seeing where the women and kids are. Do you have an answer for that?
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, it was a disproportionate male surge during Biden.
Oh, okay.
And secondly, they're trying to go after the men first because the women and children are not as politically easy to defend.
And the men are more of the criminals.
Exactly. Do you have a thought on that, Riley?
Don't have much of a thought there. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. But in terms of marijuana, I will say, of course, I've never been a user of it. I think just look at states that have legalized it.
Mm-hmm.
You look at cities like Denver now. Compare that to what? I mean, a decade prior. A totally different city and not for the better.
Yeah, I think it's all right as long as we're making sure that it's being done in a legal way and in a monitorized way, because it can easily be abused. And I know a lot of people in the Bay Area can agree with that it is very accessible at a very young age. From middle school, I knew people who were already smoking.
Yeah, and here's my contrarian view. First of all, I hate the smell of it. That's just the closest I've ever gotten to smoking weed was sitting next to Bill Maher when he smoked weed for 2 hours, and I had like a secondhand.
I've been there too.
Right?
I've
That's
been
the
there
closest
too.
we've ever been.
He asked me, he's like, "You want this?" I'm like, "No, I don't."
We were promised when marijuana was legalized that younger kids would not use it. That was a lie. Kids younger and younger are now using it. We were promised that the cartels would get weaker if we legalized it. That's not true. They're stronger than ever before. And we were promised that this was going to lower crime rates. It's actually increased crime rates. There's a lot of things that have happened that are troubling and disturbing since the legalization of weed. And then finally, I think that we glamorize it too much. Some people it does fine with. Other people it increases depression. It increases anxiety. You have to know your nature. It's not a one-size-fits-all. People say, what about alcohol? I don't drink. I'm not a big fan of drinking. But I would say that there is an important moral distinction between alcohol. Alcohol can be used as like a social lubricant.
Yeah.
Where it is somewhat more social. I don't use alcohol at all. Whereas marijuana actually makes you more inward. It makes you more isolated. It's very, very rare are people like at a party, like, let's go smoke weed together. It happens. But again, I'm talking about like actual sophisticated, not the parties you guys go to. But again, it has a tendency to make yourself be more isolated and honestly more paranoid. But again, I'm not a fan of alcohol either. I mean, if we have a lot of problems because of the substances we take. We need to limit the amount of substances we put in our body as a country, not increase it.
Definitely.
I mean, what sort of effects did you face, as you said, starting at a young age? I mean, how'd that affect you personally?
Nothing, if I'm being real, nothing like really feels real. Like, it's not my internal, like I know that everyone around me is real, but I've gone to eye doctors. Everything's kind of disordered for me. And I'm actually on day 4 of sobriety because you kind of keep falling back into it. And I'm going on it just because of my own traumas. I think that I can carry the weight of doing alcohol and smoking weed that I can carry.
You should try hyperbaric oxygen. Look it up.
Uh-huh.
It could change your life. Your brain is probably very damaged.
Yeah.
And it will rebuild your brain using pressurized oxygen. Just look it up.
I'll look it up. Like the canned oxygen?
No. You go into a chamber
Okay.
for a long, like 90 minutes at a time.
Okay.
You do about 40 sessions. It is one of the most peer-reviewed, effective ways for people that have brain issues. Again, their mental health issues are first and foremost brain health issues. The brain is the only organ that we do not routinely look at when there's a problem with it. If you have a heart issue, they look at your heart. If you have an appendix issue, they look at your appendix. If you say I have depression, they don't look at your brain. Most people that have depression or anxiety actually have damaged brains. They fell when they were a kid. They had a concussion. They did a lot of drugs. You actually look at this, what's called a SPECT scan. Dr. Daniel Amen has done a lot of great work on this. You could look it up online. And I would venture a guess. I would bet my house on it that you probably have a brain that's been damaged by the substances that you were given, and that it actually sobriety plus oxygen could I'm not a doctor, but just using our reason, we could say could probably help you, definitely not hurt you.
And I'm raising chickens and starting a farm
That
in
helps
my
too.
backyard, so that helps. Yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I'll happily sign it. Yes.
Someone didn't want it. I'm like, I'll gladly take it. Thank you so much. Yes, both of you, please. Thank you so much.
Test? Yeah, y'all can hear me, right? Yeah, all right, okay. I won't touch it, yeah, cool. Yo, my name is John, Charlie, Riley. I think a common, like stereotype about college students, especially nowadays, we're all liberal and don't know anything. We're all brainwashed, right? It's a common thing that's parroted, right? What I would say is, as someone who just turned 18, goes to the school, and was able to vote the last election, I believe that Trump is not a good option for people like me, young voters, people of color who are from immigrant families and want to be able to afford things and want to be able to have a good life. I don't believe that's the right way forward. It's fair that you guys criticize the Democrats, this and that. I don't think that's the right way to go, and I'll tell you why. Trump, just for example, people, it's a common thing. We don't know why we hate Trump. We're all brainwashed, right? Trump said, and I quote, "Immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country." As of someone who comes from an immigrant mother, immigrant father, how can
illegal?
He said illegal immigrants? Illegal immigrants. Okay, he said illegal immigrants are poisoning the blood. I know people who are illegal and doing the opposite of that. Okay, they're living. You wouldn't even be able to tell. Their immigration isn't on their face, and it's not. I think that you using that type of rhetoric is not really beneficial for me. Why would I vote for that? Why? Explain to me why I'd vote for that as a young black man who has the ability to vote.
You know what isn't beneficial? What happened to Lake and Riley? I mean, you're conflating the two things. If you're here illegally in this country, you've already broken a law. You are already a criminal. Therefore, you should be sent back.
I mean, okay, that's the immigration thing. I'm still trying to figure out why would I vote for you, because I think even for your case too, your whole kind of thing is trans people, this and that, trans sports. I'm gonna be honest with you, with all due respect, I don't care. I don't watch sports like that. I don't watch women's sports, so why would I be like?
Do you hope to have kids one day?
Yeah, but I just don't think that's important to me right now. I'm worried about having money for myself.
What do you worry about?
I worry about cost of living. I think everyone does. If you're a young person, you care about cost of living. I do have a job. So cost of living. We're thinking about paying our college loans. Like I have to pay my college loans. We're thinking about how can we survive, healthcare and our costs like that. What does Trump do to address that besides be like, we're going to deport people, we're going to put tariffs on, and trans people are bad? Why would I care?
Okay, so you work at, what kind of job do you work at?
Right now, I internship at a tech network type of thing. So it's unpaid, but it's a job.
All right, well, yeah, okay. So have you ever worked a job where you have overtime?
Yeah, I worked at Taco Bell.
Well, Trump is no longer going to tax overtime at all, so no tax on overtime, which is great. Have you ever been in a job where you get tips? No tax on tips as well. And by the way, I don't have to speculate it. Again, the election's over, so I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's kind of a waste of time. But Trump's first term was objectively better for people of what you want than Biden. And you're going to see it this time. You're going to see an amazing economic flourishing happen in the coming years.
I feel like that's kind of like a we'll give it to you eventually type of thing. I just don't see. I don't remember that happening. I was alive 2016, 2020. That wasn't a thing where it was a big
It was incredible.
Well, what?
But I mean, look, how old are you? 18. You were 10 years old at the time. So I understand that you weren't as I get it. I'm not trying to accuse you. It's just you weren't as aware of economics.
Well, in 2020, I was 15, and that was when the COVID hit, and it wasn't great back then. He was still president, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because we locked down the entire country. I mean, obviously, so.
But when he was the president, though, when COVID hit.
Yes, and the states were the ones that locked down, right? It was California that had the most draconian lockdowns. I don't want to get too far into this.
Okay.
This is too speculative. You're going to see Trump succeed, and I want you to remember this conversation and give him credit when he does.
Sure, we'll see it when it happens.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having an open mind. Yes.
Do you support the Civil Rights Act?
In spirit, but not how it's written.
Why?
It's too broad and paved its way for the persecution. For example, they're using the Civil Rights Act to put men in locker rooms like Riley was in.
How? Which article?
Article 4 or 5, I think. I actually don't know specifically, but the Civil Rights Act is being used for by the trans movement right now as because they say that they are women, therefore they demand an accommodation of women's rights. Riley can riff on this. They're using the Civil Rights Act literally to have access into female locker rooms.
So what would you change about the Civil Rights Act?
I wouldn't make it as broad. I would make it much more crisp and concrete, and I wouldn't have it necessarily. I would also get rid of the disparate impact component of the Civil Rights Act. So the biggest problem with the Civil Rights Act, there's 4 components of the beast of anti-racism. There's affirmative action, DEI, disparate impact, and then, of course, there's a 4th that I'll remember in a second, which is basically disparate impact is that it must be racism if 2 different groups have different outcomes, which, of course, is outrageous. Disparate impact is the legal theory that undergirds most of the enforcement of the Civil Rights Act.
Hey, Charlie, Riley, thank you for having me here. So I have a 2-part question. I want to make it quick, so if that's okay for me to ask. So just a little bit of background on myself. So I grew up, born and raised in San Francisco, and it's a very progressive city. And I attended University of Oregon, a very woke school. Go Ducks, yeah. They are a woke school, though. But I wanted to get your guys' input on how to find more like-minded conservatives in the city and maybe find a good Christian conservative girl around here. I'm stuck in here the next 2 cities with my finance job, so yeah, I'm here for a while.
What I will say is speak freely. That's how I have found my close network of friends, is just by speaking freely. And in doing that, I think you find that there are more people like you in your viewpoints than you were originally apt to believe. Even in San Francisco. Again, you might not believe it, but look at all the people who are here today to support the message.
Well, outside of this crowd, well, what's your guys' take?
Church.
That's true.
Find your future wife at church. Take your faith seriously, and there's some great churches, really good ones here in the Bay Area. There's one in San Jose, Calvary Chapel, San Jose, with Mike McClure.
That's great.
Does a great job.
Good.
That's great.
And then second question I have, so how do you guys respond to the adversity of the far left being shunned, telling you that you're wrong, not allowed to have your own opinion, and having to be a closeted conservative in a very progressive city like San Francisco?
Truthfully, it doesn't bother me. All they have is to come up here and say that I look like a man. That's, again, pretty much their entire basis of their argument. It's nothing foundational. It's nothing based on logic or reason or lived experience or common sense or science. What happened to follow the science? It is always petty personal attacks. It is always name-calling. That's what we do in, like, 2nd grade. It just doesn't hurt my feelings. It goes one in one ear, out the other. And I think, too, being a Christian myself, being strong in my faith, knowing that I am fighting for eternal life, that is the ultimate outcome here. Nothing of this world matters. I could care less what someone wants to come up here and say I look like a man. It doesn't affect me at all.
Awesome.
Yeah.
God bless you, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Can I have one more question?
We got to get to the next question. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
All right, let's keep going.
All right. Nice to meet you, Mr. Kirk. I have seen you online for a couple years now. I'm from the Bay Area, though, so I can't let no one know that I've ever heard you online or I'll get accosted in the streets. A little background on me. My name is Owen. I am a child of rape. My mother is from San Francisco, or my birth mother's from San Francisco. She was raped when she was 17 at a party while she was drunk, kind of like what you were talking about earlier. She was a Catholic, I think like yourself, if I'm not mistaken. And because of that, oh, you're not, okay. But she decided to not get an abortion. She also kept the pregnancy secret from her entire family. So this was a 17-year-old that gave birth at 18 after keeping it secret from her family that entire time. She was also attending school. I still cannot find a way to reconcile a national abortion ban. Even though I am a child that was put up for adoption, my mother kept it a secret. I completely support her decision. I personally do not support abortion on any level. I just cannot find a way to support a national abortion ban. It is too much of a gray area. Not enough people agree with me. And I believe people should be left to do what they want. And I want to ask you how you reconcile that. I don't disagree, and I just want to hear.
I'll just say I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
What part is the gray area to you?
To me, I believe that it's a child from conception. I believe that that is a child in the womb. But I don't think if you look at every single person in this crowd, they're going to agree with that statement. And I don't see how I can force somebody with my beliefs to have to carry a child to birth.
Why does the truth matter about widespread agreement?
Can you clarify?
If something is true, who cares if people agree with you?
I understand that, but I think that there's a lot of harm that can come to some women.
Is it true or not? Is it a human being at conception?
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
It's completely irrelevant what other people think.
I'm going to have to agree with that, frankly. I think we're going to disagree on legislating it, but I completely agree with you, Mr.
Because
Kirk.
you asked about the advocation, right?
Yes.
It is completely irrelevant what other people think when something is true.
Thank you, Mr. Kirk. Can I ask you to sign
Yes,
my hat?
I will. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, we'll let him up. Come on up. No, I'm not letting her back. No.
Can you sign the underside? Because people will see that, and I'll have to explain. Underside. Wait, can you do the underside? I'm sorry. I know it's not normal. Can I get your signature as well, Ms. King? Thank you very much.
Thank you. The economy is going to do great. Yes. I think the great jobs report. Inflation is down.
Hi.
Wait in line. Guys, this is not Biden's America. You got to wait in line before you go up here, okay?
Hi. Sorry, I was standing by that speaker and I can't hear out of my right ear, so this might be a little whatever. My name is Zoe. I'm not originally from San Francisco. I'm from a relatively small town in the Central Valley called Oakdale. Quite conservative, very red, I would say. And I was just wondering, kind of not the basis of a lot of your arguments, but you do promote almost a sense of like rage bait and kind of a lot of aggression. Do you think that there's other ways to kind of captivate an audience where you don't feel the need to, and also Riley, I have a question for you, but you don't feel the need to, what are you doing there on that paper? You're drawing something?
Yeah, you want to see it?
Do I not have your attention?
I'm listening, but
You're
I mean,
listening?
your question,
Okay.
I already know how I'm going to answer it, but I'm letting you finish.
Then
So.
please, if you want to answer it, since
Yeah,
you're
who's rage
assuming.
baiting, me or her?
I think it's a mutual. I mean, she didn't
really?
even stand
How-
in line, and
how-
it's not.
how am I
you know,
ra-
it's
how am I
it's
rage
not
baiting?
Biden's America. Everyone has to stand in line. She
Yes.
didn't have to stand in line. You called her up here because you knew that it would catch the audience attention, and it would kind of have this sense
Well,
of persuasion
Not really. It
to
just-
the people here.
Oh, you could read
and-
my mind?
I never said that. I actually never said that.
What's your question? This is largely
I'm
a waste
asking
of
why
time.
you think that's okay to kind of stir the pot, to rage bait, to.
I'm stirring the pot. Do you hear what's going on over there?
I know, but your arguments are like, oh, Riley has all these protesters in a building, and that's giving me a sense. That's putting me in a sense of I'm in a position where. Sorry, I'm losing track of my
Yeah,
words.
I have no
but-
idea what you're saying. So what is your question? And we'll go to the next one. Thank you.
Okay,
Next question.
no. I want to ask Riley something. That was my main thing. As a woman, why do you feel that you're not threatened with abortion policies? Like, I understand, you feel a sense of vulnerability when participating with trans women or men, as you consider, in sports. Why do you feel that these policies and these, concepts don't threaten you?
Because I think children are the greatest blessing life has to offer.
And if that's the case, why don't you think children are deserving of healthy environments? Like, honestly, can you confidently say that a woman who has a child who, the child was conceived under circumstances that were, not okay and very violent and, I can't even imagine. How are you guaranteeing that this child is going to be happy and live a healthy life that's deserving?
Of course, I can never guarantee the outcome of someone's life, but you know what's a whole lot worse than giving someone a chance is eliminating that chance altogether by ultimately terminating their life.
Are you eliminating that woman's chance of fulfilling her dreams and fulfilling her life? Like, it's foster care systems aren't what they seem, or, people, of course, have opinions of what's right to do after you have a child, or, if you decide not to have a child. But I have a friend who was in foster care, and he has experienced the most insane situations that I can even imagine. And the fact that, sorry?
No, keep on going. It's fine. It's just, I know all your arguments, but keep going.
I really want to know, like, not even to be like this, but woman to woman, Riley, how do you justify, putting this almost shackle on women and kind of sitting there and saying, you know what, I don't care, you're going to have this child, despite how, painful.
I am so sorry that you are led to believe that children are shackles on your life. I would argue there are many parents here, mothers, fathers who are here who would not look at their children as shackles. Again, they would look at them as the greatest blessing life has to offer. If unfortunately that's a position that you find yourself in, or someone finds themselves in, where they do see this child as a hindrance, you mentioned foster care. I think we, rather than, again, kind of normalizing and accepting and celebrating the idea of abortion, you work on foster care reform, the reform of the adoption system. I think those are much more beneficial and effective ways to ultimately address the problems that you're bringing to light without having to terminate lives in the process.
Why is there such a focus on kind of reprimanding women for their choice, but not a focus on making sure that foster care systems are what they should be? And,
I think that's a national conversation that we could have. I do.
So why do you not think that's happening? Why do you think the focus is on women and their bodies?
It is happening. We actually post more funding into foster care systems. You don't know about it. It's just like literally, Republican states are pumping more money into pregnancy. Do you know what a pregnancy crisis center is?
Yeah, like a Planned Parenthood kind of ordeal, or what do you mean by that?
No.
It's just a question. I mean, I'm really learning. This is
a pregnancy crisis center is the pro-life equivalent, where you go there to actually have your baby be saved. And they'll actually help the baby with diapers and with formula and food up to 5 years of life. And there are there's thousands of churches across the country that pump in hundreds of millions of dollars a year on that one specific thing.
I make sure I support causes that do as well, whether that is supplement companies. All the supplements I get, my vitamins that I take daily, I make sure I buy from a company that supports pro-life causes because it matters to me. When I say I'm pro-woman, I mean I am pro-woman wholeheartedly, entirely, all the way through, up and down. I am pro-woman. That means supporting women during their pregnancy, throughout their pregnancy, and after their pregnancy as well.
Okay, interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you for answering.
All right. So let me ask you. After the 13th Amendment was passed, slavery was banned, yet many slave owners refused to let go of their slave. Do you think they should have been prosecuted?
Yes.
You do? So you believe they should have been prosecuted even though they were lied and deceived into thinking it was okay. So do you think all women that get abortions are murderers?
No.
Why not?
I've answered this a million
times. Why
not?
Okay, but why not?
Because they do not have informed consent.
Since when does that excuse murder? If I was to kill someone and I went to the court
all the time, because they're not the one actually doing murder. They're
okay. So if I were to hire a hitman and say, "Oh, kill this child," would I not go to jail? I would go to jail for first-degree murder.
A better analogy would be if you do not have a full picture of what's going on, if you were to quote unquote unintentionally hire a hitman. A woman is in a time of crisis.
How do you unintentionally hire a hitman?
Again, there's many. For example, if you hire someone to deliver a package for you and they accidentally run somebody over in their car on the way there, they don't have the full picture of exactly what's going on.
That's not hiring a hitman. A hitman is you calling a hitman, telling you to murder someone.
That's not what
That's what hiring a hitman is.
You're going to interrupt me every 10 seconds or not?
All right, go.
You want to keep going?
No, I made my point.
Finish all your thoughts.
I made my point.
Okay,
if I were to hire a hitman, the hitman would go to jail for first-degree murder. I would go to jail for first-degree murder.
Yes.
Why is that any different if you truly believe immersion is murder?
Women do not have informed consent of the life within them.
Why does that matter? They get
because
ultrasounds?
They don't know it's a human life. No, they do not. That's not true. They don't get ultrasounds. That's not true.
So you're saying no women have gotten ultrasounds before?
In fact, no. A small percentage of women get ultrasounds before an abortion here in California. It's less than 5%.
So why does that matter though?
It matters
so
a
you
lot
think that would hold up into court if I killed someone and say, "Oh, I didn't know I was killing him." Oh, they lied to me. They said it was okay. Do you think that was? Do you think?
Well, first of all, number one, abortion is not illegal in this country in several states.
It is in 6 states. 6 weeks banned.
Thankfully, and we should try to make every single one of them.
So,
Number two. Finally, some women are also not finally. But secondly, they're also pressured into getting abortions by husbands, by spouses, or
why
by
does
boyfriends.
that matter? If someone told me to kill someone and I killed someone,
again, it matters
I would go to jail.
all of our energy.
If you're saying abortion is murder, how is that any
If you're going to keep
different?
interrupting you, I'm going to get you off the mic, okay? No, finish all your thoughts because you keep interrupting because you literally cannot have a mature conversation. Go ahead.
If someone told me to kill someone, I killed someone. Just because they made me doesn't mean I wouldn't go to jail for murder.
Are you done?
What? Yeah, I'm done. Go.
They don't have informed consent. A lot of them are also put in those practices by other people paying for those abortions, being pushed into those environments. Number 3, the person who should be held accountable is the abortionist, the one that is actually doing the harm to the baby. Period. Hard stop. A lot of times women are the victims of an abortion industry. They think it's just a cosmetic improvement. They think it's like getting a haircut. No, women should not be held accountable for it, but abortionists should. Thank you very much.
What about the women that made the informed decision and they did it on their own? Do you think they should go to jail?
How do they do it on their own? You mean like a coat hanger?
No, like it was their informed decision. They knew what they were doing. They got the ultrasound.
I do not think the law should be applicable to those circumstances.
Why not? Why not?
Well, okay, if abortion ever gets illegal, then
it is illegal in 6 states. So if a woman got an abortion
yes,
after
then
6
it
weeks,
applies to them. But that's not the way that I would curtail the law. How would you like to see it? Tell me.
No, okay, before I get into that, do you think they should go to jail for first-degree murder?
I just said that.
So you don't think they should be? So someone that murders a human being?
They're not the one doing the murder. Again, the audience is very clear. Like you're making very little sense with a lot of interruptions. What would you like to see happen? We'll go to the next question.
Okay, so how is hiring a hitman any different? I want to know how that
I just told you.
No, you said.
Because they don't have informed consent.
I'm saying the women that do have informed consent. The women that do have informed consent, how is that any different?
It does not happen. Again, that's not the point.
So women never get an abortion with informed consent?
The point is very rarely, and the law should not necessarily even be scoped that far. That's the point. And why would it be scoped that far if we first can't even go after abortionists? What is the point of your thought exercise, and what do you believe?
I believe, well, I am pro-life. I believe life starts at conception, but I don't value a human unless they're able to deploy first-person subjective experiences. So would you say it's murder to unplug a brain-dead patient?
Well, first of all, in certain circumstances, yes, but those are two separate things. One is no more, and one is not yet.
If someone gave you,
did you hear what I just said? What are you just responding, or are you listening?
But you're making
no. What did I just say?
All right, go.
No, you're not even listening to what I'm saying. You're just getting ready to say the next thing. What did I just say?
You're making shitty points.
No, what did I just say?
You're
No, tell me.
Shitty
No,
points.
tell me what I just said. This is fun. What did I just say?
You're saying what? You're saying a brain dead patient has no more. You're saying a brain dead patient has no more chance at life, but a fetus or an embryo would have a chance at life. Isn't that what you're saying?
Yes, and those are two morally different things.
If someone gave you a lottery ticket and said, "Here's $1 million," it's not $1 million until you actually win the lottery. It's different. What percent of zygotes actually make it to birth? 30%. 30%. That doesn't seem like.
Okay, yes, but that's not with that's not absent human. That's absent human intervention, though.
So that's a chance. That's
it's
not
like
the same thing.
if someone drops dead, it's not murder.
When did I say that?
That's what you're saying. Again,
I'm not saying abortion is murder. I'm saying it's not murder because you're not killing a human being.
Again, what is your final contention?
Until sentience, it's not murder.
Okay, I disagree. A human is a human life because of the soul, not just because of consciousness. Just because you have consciousness does not equal your dignity. Thank you very much.
So a brain dead patient is alive though, but they don't have any conscience.
Well, hold on. Again, you think you're super smart. Tell me, what does a woman menstruate when she's brain dead?
What?
Does a woman menstruate?
Why does that matter?
Because hold on, you're still alive. How do you menstruate if you're not alive?
But she can't think though.
Can a woman get pregnant if she's brain dead? Time out. Can a woman get pregnant if she's brain dead?
That's not what I'm saying.
Hold on. How is someone dead if they can get pregnant?
What?
How is someone dead if they can get pregnant?
Brain dead, not dead.
Yes, I know.
Dead.
Hold on, time out. If someone is brain dead, can they get pregnant?
Yes.
Well, then they're pretty much alive then if you can get pregnant.
Yeah, they are alive. No,
that's what I'm saying, though. That brain waves don't equal whether you're alive or not. That's the point.
I'm not saying they're alive. I'm not saying.
That's exactly
no,
what you're
I
saying.
say I don't value them as a human.
You don't value them
as much as a human that does and that
honestly,
is able to deploy first-person
I'm super
subjective
glad you're not in
consciousness.
charge.